to book Billy Alsbrooks to speak at your next event, call 407-310-3275. Warning, videos by Billy Alsbrooks do cause side effects. And those side effects are champions being born, dreams being realized, the weak becoming strong, weight loss, victory over unbelievable odds, incredible comeback stories, the sick being healed, marriages being restored, victory over all forms of addiction, job promotions, average people becoming millionaires, warriors becoming blessed and unstoppable. These videos will motivate and inspire you to take action. Warning, your faith is now being increased to the level it takes to move mountains. Arise, champion. I'm Billy Alsbrooks and I approve this message. I remember a while ago, before my book took off and before the speaking took off, I was out to dinner with my family and we were all gathered around the table and I was talking about what I wanted to do, my dream, my vision, what I wanted to accomplish with my life. And I could tell by the look on their face, the look in their eyes, they didn't believe me. They just didn't get it. I really wanted that validation. I wanted somebody to look at me and say, I believe in you. But that's the way it's always been in my life. See, when you dream big, it's like you speak a different language. The common man, the average person will not understand a person who is dreaming on the next level. I got so mad inside, I couldn't wait to get back home. See, I just got this big 6-foot dry erase board on my wall, and I had set my goals big, I thought. Until I had that conversation with my family that did not understand who they were sitting across the table from. And when I got home, I ran straight up to my office. I grabbed that eraser and I wiped my dry erase board clean. All the goals that I had dreamed before, I wiped them off. And then I started writing bigger goals, bigger dreams, bigger ambitions. See, if they're not gonna understand me, then it doesn't really matter how big I dream. They're not gonna understand me anyway. So if I'm gonna dream, I might as well dream to the max. I might as well invite God into my situation and let Him prove His glory, to prove His power, to prove His magnificence through me. Now somebody needs to hear this out there that's listening to me. Those closest to you, those closest around you will be the last to see the change in you. First got into the music business. I had been with this girl for 5 years, but her mother couldn't stand me. See, I didn't have any money at the time. I wasn't working a 9 to 5, I was just grinding with my music, trying to make something happen. All I had was a dream. And I used to talk about this dream when I go over to my girlfriend's house. And her mother would give me this look. She said, son, you're just a dreamer. That thing you're dreaming, that's never gonna happen. And I don't want my daughter with somebody like you who's not gonna be anything in life. She ended up giving my girlfriend an ultimatum. She said, you either break up with him or you get out of my house. She had heard the negativity that her mother said about me so many times, she believed it. She gave up on me and we went our separate ways. But what her mother said, that I was just a dreamer, stuck with me my whole music career. I would ask myself every single day, are you just a dreamer? Or are you a person who can grind until they execute? Somebody who can make that dream a reality. Is that you? 6 months after that breakup, I signed my first record deal. And 3 months after that, I hit the Billboard charts. That stuck with me though. What she said, Billy, you're just a dreamer and you're never gonna be nothing. I heard that voice over and over and over. So when I was outside that club promoting my music at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, dealing with every kind of thing you could imagine, drunks and gangs and people packing guns and that negative environment, and that voice on the inside of me said, go home, it's late. I would stay that extra hour, I would stay that extra 2 hours grinding to prove to the world that I wasn't just dreaming, that greatness was on the inside of me. I know I'm talking to somebody out there right now who can relate to what I'm saying. You got dreams, you got ambitions. That 9 to 5 job is just not enough for you. You got this grand goal of conquering the world, but no one around you believes you. Listen to me, champion, don't get discouraged by that. You see, the common man, the average your own ability. Set them to the level of the God that you serve. Cause with God, all things are possible. My biggest challenge was managing my expectations for others. You see, I expect everyone around me to get it. Everyone around me to understand the dream that's on the inside of me. And that's just not reality. They are not the same. Now, I don't say this in an arrogant manner. They just don't have revelation yet of the God that's on the inside of them. It don't take faith to dream small. That's why so many people do it. This guy reached out to me a few months ago about doing an interview on his TV show. And it all worked out because 2 weeks later I was doing an event up in his city. So I get to his city, I reach out to him, text him, I'm like, hey, where you want to meet up? And he said, first come by the house and then we'll go to the station to do the interview. So he sent me his address. I put it in my GPS and began the journey across town. And as I pull in the neighborhood, I realized this is a rough area of town. But I'm trusting the spirit that is in me, because it is guiding me to this man. And when I get over there, his house is the only house on the street that is not boarded up. Every house next to him is boarded up and abandoned. But this guy has something about him different. I pull up in the driveway and he comes out and welcomes me and introduces himself and invites me on in the house. Now, when I go in the house, all I see are goals and vision boards and dreams written down everywhere. See, this man had been in prison for 15 years, but got saved inside. And God began to pour these dreams out on him. And when he got out, God slowly began to open these doors, these unimaginable doors. First he got a radio show, then he got a TV show. God put a book in him. This guy had every reason in the world to make an excuse why he couldn't do something when he got out. He been gone 15 years, but he didn't make excuses. He dreamed big because he knew the word and said, with God all things are possible. And he bought into that. Now this man wasn't living where he wanted to live, but he wasn't living where he was living. Do you understand what I'm saying? His mind was not in that bad area of town. His mind had already rented the U-Haul, packed everything up and moved out of there. And everybody in that house, his new wife, his stepchildren, all of them spoke the dream. Every single one of them had their own goal sheet. Every one of them had their own vision board. Every one of them spoke success. Every one of them spoke faith. Now, I don't know how long it will take for that man to manifest what's in him, but I know he's going to, because he has aligned with the laws of success. All you have to do is get clear on what you want in life. And you do that by starting with the way you want to feel. How do you want to feel every single day when you get up? Now with me, every day that I get up, I want to be on fire. I want to do the things that I'm passionate about. I want to write, I want to speak, I want to create, I want to get in front of people and change lives. This is what I want to do every single day of my life. Once you figure out how you want to feel, then you lay out outcomes that will produce those feelings. What outcomes, if you achieve, will make you feel the way that you want to feel? What do you want your legacy here on earth to be? When you are dead and gone, what do you want people to say about you? Most people are too lazy to do the inner homework required for greatness. The majority of the world says they want to be successful, but that's not true. What they want to do is look successful. They don't want to be successful. They don't want to do the things that it takes, the things that are required to produce that. They just want to look like that. Success is available to anybody, but not everybody is willing to pay the price that it costs to do it. Now see, here's the thing. If you want massive success, if you want to level up, if you want to go to that next level, the thing is you got to be willing to go down that road alone. Most people don't speak the language of greatness. And there's not a setting inside Google Translate to translate that big dream that you're talking into common language. They will not understand what it is you are saying if you're dreaming big. Now, if you got small dreams, everybody can hear you. Everybody will pat you on the back and say, sure, go ahead, buddy, you can do it. But if you dream big, I'm talking about global galactic dreams. If you want to change the world, you gotta be willing to do that thing solo. Get up every single day and seek your calling. Find that thing that God has anointed you to do and get in the center of it. Get in the center of it. Turn up. Set yourself on fire and then aim for the stars. All things are possible with God. Somebody emailed me asking what I wrote on my vision board that night I went home. I wrote 1 billion people. Impact, motivate, inspire, sow life over 1 billion people around this globe. I am Billy Alsbrooks, blessed and unstoppable, and I will do what I set out to do. To God be the glory. Breathe, well, live, blessed and unstoppable. Join the movement. Get your books and t-shirts now. Fortunes are built on clarity and fire. That our self-awareness walked out through one's passion. Today is the day. It's time to stop asking, what job will pay me the most per hour? And start asking yourself, what has God called and anointed me to do? The time is now. Stop living a watered-down version of who God made you to be and step into your greatness. Your Creator put an original, authentic, and powerful voice inside you that has been craving to express itself. Don't let bills and the cost of everyday living drown out the music in your soul. You are bigger than that. God did not create you just to pay bills and to scrape by. As believers, we all have the same purpose in life, and that's to glorify God in everything we do. But each one of us has been given different natural talents, gifts, and abilities. God did not create you to live a lukewarm life. His intention is for you to love, create, prosper, and thrive. The restless cry of destiny will not allow you to sleep any longer. Awaken to your calling. Arise, champion. Pursue your passion with a sense of urgency. Waste no more time living a life that you were never meant to live. Unburden your spirit and embrace who you really are. Dare to be different. Your difference is your gift. See it as your strength and build on it. Don't try to conform to the mold of the masses. Celebrate your distinction. It's that distinction that qualifies you for your future. Time is your most precious commodity. Stop trading it in for mediocrity. You'll never walk in the fullness of God's blessing until you unleash the energy created from doing your passion. To be successful, you must aggressively pursue your calling without any traces of fear or hesitation. And in order for you to accomplish this, you must boldly raise and establish your faith to such a level that you become immune to the fear of uncertainty. Deep down, your spirit knows what you were designed to do. And that voice of truth whispers, and blessed are those who listen. You might have missed it before, but that beautiful voice has been speaking to you since the moment you were conceived. Even in the womb, preparations will be made so that you can fulfill your assignment. Self-awareness is the beginning of success. It's knowing who God is, who He created you to be, and who He assigned you to. The only place to truly uncover this is in the presence of God. The mysteries and wisdom of heaven can only be heard in the silence. The truth is, the time that you get alone with God is the only time that you're not alone. Enter into His presence daily and ask Him to grant you revelation and understanding of who He truly made you to be. Don't confuse a job or a profession that you've always done as your calling just because you've always done it. Let the flames of your passion set the world around you on fire. That burning, that yearning on the inside will guide and point you to your calling. When you are in your real calling, time will just seem to accelerate and evaporate, and you will get lost in the moment because you enjoy what it is you're doing. When money ceases to be the driving force behind what you're doing, look around, because your calling is near. Your anointing is near. If you do not get a physical high on what you are doing, then you are not in your calling. Success is about positioning. It's putting yourself in an environment conducive to success. The object for each and every one of us is to find the center of God's calling for our life. And it's from that place, and only that place, that all of God's promises are made available to us. The world needs exactly what God planted inside you, and only you can deliver it. Questions will take you anywhere you want to go in life. All you have to do is find the right question. So I ask you this question, this powerful, life-changing question. What has God called you to do? What is your divine calling? Now, many of you listening to me right now, you don't know the answer to that. And that's okay for right now. But the most important thing is to begin to ask that question every single day until you figure it out. Now, some of you out there know exactly what it is that God has called you to do. But the fear of failure has enslaved you to a life of emptiness. You've traded your freedom for certainty. You've traded your greatness in for a steady Friday paycheck. Every day you get up and go do a job that smothers you with average. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings by what I'm saying, but I gotta give it to you raw and uncut, because that's the only way you're gonna get from where you are now to the center of God's plan for your life. So I ask you again, what has God called you to do? What is your divine calling? Leave the money and financial compensation out of the equation and just ask the question, what has God called me to do? Don't say, well, how am I gonna pay my bills? That's not the question right now. The question right now is, what has God called you to do? Greatness derives out of clarity. You gotta know what you were put here on earth to do. The best way to figure this out is to follow the smoke. And what I mean by that is your fire, your passion, the things that you're consumed by will point you straight to it. If the flame is absent, if the energy is not radiating when you do it, if there's no craving to prolong the natural high from being in the moment, from doing it, then it's not your calling. Keep searching. The secret to success is building your life around the things that you love. Because greatness is impossible to attain without a burning desire to achieve it. The intoxication created from the enthusiasm of functioning inside the center of your calling gives you an edge, a superior advantage that will allow you to dominate your space. The best way to glorify God is to stay in your lane and do your calling. When you marry your passion to singleness of purpose, it produces the environment needed for greatness. And for you to thrive, you must do the things that make you feel alive. Now listen to me. Everything that you want in life can be found behind the door that says passion on it. It's these obsessions that will allow you to possess the promises of God. To achieve greatness, you must align with something that allows you to fully harness the power created from doing your passion. And the only way to find your own voice is to do what you love. The day of awakening, the day you discover your life's calling, will be the turning point in your life. God has anointed you with a set of unique talents for a reason. His calling for you is directly tied to you using your gifts. Hear me out, because this is important. Functioning outside of his calling gives birth to disillusionment, frustration, and spiritual emptiness. And these fruits from misalignment produce sickness, disease, financial struggles, bitterness, resentment, anger, extramarital affairs, broken marriages, and destroys families. We don't realize a lot of times where all these problems are coming from. See, the whole world is out of position. Very few people in the world are doing what they were called to do. And if you're out of position, all you're gonna get is strife, stress, and chaos. You wonder why it seems like the whole world is against you? It's because you're out of position. You're not where you're supposed to be. You're not doing what you were called to do. Inside the calling is the anointing. And it is this anointing that makes one unstoppable. What is your calling? What is it that God has designed you to do? Stop running from who God made you to be and step into your calling. Champions live every day in the boldness of being themselves. You need not be subject to the way of the masses, the beliefs of the status quo, or the deficiencies of today's educational system. Pursue yourself. Chase your authenticity. Get up every morning, put on your shoes, and chase after your destiny. I dare you to discover the real you. I dare you to show the world who you really are. Stop chasing other people's dreams. Live the dream that God gave you in the womb. I want to really land this part right here. Just because you admire somebody else's calling does not mean that you were called and anointed to do it. I'm gonna say this one more time because it's so important that you understand this. It's so important that you get this. Just because you admire somebody else's calling does not mean that you were called and anointed to do it. You have your own calling. You have your own assignment. Stay in your lane and build around the strengths that God gave you. When you do that, you will become magnetic, attracting opportunities that will put you in position to be successful. Follow the whisper. God's Spirit will guide you to your destiny. There's nothing more beautiful, more seductive, more attractive than a person comfortable in their own skin. The battleground is over self, and you are under siege. Don't join the army of coons, the paycheck addicts who are too reliant on hourly wages to ever pursue their dreams. No one can ever be a better version of you than you. Dream your own dream. Get out of that comfort zone. Stop living in a box. Refuse to accept the limitations of the unbelievers. Have faith in the one who can make all things possible. Step into your calling. And once you get there, then you can find creative ways to package the value produced while you're doing it. It's much easier to see the financial opportunities in the center of the calling than it is on the outside. See, you can't see how you're gonna make money doing your thing because you're not in your thing. Let's be real. You've been struggling most of your life anyway, doing that hourly job that you can't stand anyway. So what do you have to lose? Maybe right now, you have yourself in a bind, and financially you can't step full-time into your calling. So here's what you gotta do. You gotta spend every second outside of your job thinking, plotting, and planning to get into your calling. You do whatever it takes to get there. The person who commits themselves to enter into this definiteness of purpose will find that God will shake heaven and earth to open the doors needed for them to do it. I close out in prayer. Father God, I pray that every single person who hears this message finds the center of your calling for their life. May your plans and promises, each and every one of them, be fulfilled in their life. May they be not lost, but have eternal life in you. May no weapon formed against them prosper. May you give them complete revelation and understanding of who you made them to be. And may all their needs be met according to your riches and glory by Christ Jesus. I'm Billy Alsbrooks, blessed and unstoppable. To God be the glory. Blessed and unstoppable. Success starts with putting the right things into your mind. And my new book, Blessed and Unstoppable, was strategically designed to align your mind with the laws of success. This curriculum will teach you the inner mechanics required to go from average to phenomenal, from living a life with limits to being blessed and unstoppable. As you follow this guide step by step, amazing breakthroughs will happen. New doors of opportunity will open, and favor will begin to chase you down. Blessed and Unstoppable is a 31-day devotional on the laws of success. This book will instigate the thought process and actions required to transform your life. Each day has a Bible verse, a teaching on that day's principle, a positive affirmation, a prayer for the day, self-assessment questions, success quotes, action steps, and a powerful inspirational message. Regardless of what field you're in, Blessed and Unstoppable is your blueprint for success. Get your copy at blessedandunstoppable.com. Also available on Amazon.